Yo, what is up guys, it's your boy Rick64 here, back again with another video. Today we're going to be playing some more Toontown Rewritten. This should be, let me alt-tab real quick, this should be part number 13, lucky number 13. Alright, so I'm here with, actually, I am here with somebody. So I was asking for some help in the old Discord at discord.gg/Rico64, and look at that, we got Strawberry Bun Day. Get it? Because it's a bunny and it's a Sunday. Bun Day. So actually that's Lil Marbles is helping me out here. True fucking OG. Really appreciate the help because, when it gets to a certain point in this game, I'm going to get dumpstered. So you almost need multiple people in order to survive. So I need a spin doctor and 2 level 4 plus cogs. Let's give it a go wave here. Boom. Let me go to speed chat, tasks, my task, I need to be spin doctor. So let's go this direction. I fished off recording, so you know how it is, boys. We got enough gags for the next 20-30 minutes tops, alright? And after that, we gotta go straight back to the fish grind. I hope you guys are doing well, and I wasn't 100% sure on what I was gonna do for, like a topic, if that makes sense. Normally I've got a very structured topic for this type of series and video, but this time I've definitely got an idea, but I'm not as set in stone as I normally am. There we go. There it is. There's the... Are you... Did you just see this? It's unbelievable. I've never been so... Okay, never mind. All good. We're back, baby. We're back. We're back. I was so tilted that I was about to miss the next opportunity there. And I got my squad rolling deep with the Bun Day. Got a dude with a fully green pie throwing at my man, the Spin Doctor. Ass Eater coming up. Runner up. Or no, it's... What is it called when you're next up to bat in baseball? That's what I was going to say. Is that runner-up? No way. It's not, right? There's no way I could be thinking that. Now, geez, the last time I played baseball had to have been before middle school, like elementary school. So I would not be the expert for that, that's for sure. It doesn't say health still. It's definitely something we need. I do have to admit, I had a very positive interaction with the Toontown Rewritten support team. I'm not going to say the name because I don't know if they want me to say the name. So I'm just going to go off of the guys that they probably don't. But they were really nice. I completely fucked up and I was trying to log into a username that probably didn't even fucking exist. And they told me very nicely, they're like, hey, don't think that account exists, chief. Try a different one. Tried a different one. Got back in, baby. Hacker mans. So here's the topic, right, that I was thinking of getting into. And the topic has many meanings, and that's what's beautiful about it, and some of those I can't really necessarily explain deeply. But the topic of the day is, and don't take it literally, because I don't really care about it literally, it's do your homework. Right? That's the topic. DYH. Very deep meaning, right? What does that mean? It means be prepared for things. Do I think that school and homework and all that stuff is really that important when it comes down to it, especially when you get to the real world? No, not really. I'm not going to tell you that I think it is. I think that you should definitely try if you're in that situation, but my entire life, never really studied, never really did my homework too much. So definitely didn't get the overall best opportunities that I could have gotten anyways by doing that, but here we are, it's life. So think beyond just the physical to your homework, right? Think of this as how you prepare yourself to succeed. So let me explain the story to you, all right? And this, of course, is a fake work story, right? Everything I do in my life is fake, scripted, made it up in my shower this morning. Take it with a grain of salt. So when I started out in a company, let's just call it that, there was... a lot of practices within the company that were very archaic, very redundant, and just point blank completely fucking unnecessary. And worst of all, oh, amazing, dude, I got a new squirt gag. That's a huge happy face. Thank you. So there are processes that were super legacy. The reason I bring this up is not to slam dunk on my boomer coworkers. It's really to say, though, that a lot of businesses like that get very complacent and caught up with what they were normally used to, when the whole point of competing in terms of business is to keep pushing that envelope, right? So if you stop pushing the envelope for too long, what's going to happen is you're going to lose. And when you lose, that means everybody loses their fucking jobs. So this is something that's thematic to me because, to just be as blunt as possible, if you are in that situation for an extended, long period of time, you're either stunting your growth or you are going to cease to exist and become obsolete before too long. So the theme of that is keep pushing yourself to be better and better and better and better and better. And you will find that, I mean, obviously you're just competing with yourself, right? But what you'll find, though, is that everything becomes easier when you're working your ass off. You will get luckier when you work your ass off. There are these down bad Andes, I love to call them, right? There are these people who are always down, just waiting for luck to pick them up and make them a trillionaire. But then there's the people who are grinding every day and trying their absolute hardest, and luck is more likely to be in your favor then. I guarantee you. So that's the point. That's the point of that. But let's get back to the story. So these people, right, they've been doing something for 20 or 30 years in some cases, and I was telling them that they're wrong. And so people who are so entrenched in that, sometimes they can't see around it. It's like a fog. It's like they're just trying to get through the day, and they don't care if it's not the most efficient way. They've got the mentality of, if it's broke, don't fix it. Like that guy going into a 3-story building by him fucking self. Good luck, dude, you're getting greened. But the problem with this mentality is it breeds complacency. So as long as something is successful by their definition of what success is, which could be complete steaming horseshit, as long as that definition stays intact in their head, then they won't change it until it fails. But what happens, though, if it is failing by a competitive definition? Point being that I kept trying to push this envelope because things weren't working. And it was causing a lot of problems, it was causing us to lose a lot of money, but they didn't necessarily care because it didn't directly affect them. They still felt secure, even though really they shouldn't have felt secure. And so, to get a little bit deeper into the story and to try to get to more of the point, because you guys are probably like, alright dude, what is the fucking punchline? This sucks. This story sucks dick. Well, point of it being, right, I started changing things. And first I started trying to ask to change things, which, by the way, it's good to do that. It's very good to do that, but at the same time, what the fuck, dude? Alright, I'm going to bounce Boro. It's always good to ask for stuff like that, but there are times where you're gonna just have to start changing stuff, and you're gonna have your receipts. You're gonna have to do your homework, right? You're gonna have to prove why your way is better through either making more money, being more efficient, wasting less time, using your time more efficiently the same way. And so I got that test to me, right? So the two people who were extremely complacent brought me into their office, and they said, hey Ben, what you doing, man? We noticed that you made changes to X, Y, and Z, and we'd like to know your reasoning on why you did it. And so I remember vividly, I kept receipts of every single change that I did within this system, within this software. And I had them printed out. I said, give me 1 second. I went into my file cabinet, I pulled out every single change, and I said, oh, okay, so you meant this on this date, and this one on this date, and this one on this date. And if you see in the notes here, these are why I made all the changes and why they were successful. And from those two people, I never got another question like that ever again. And so that's a piece where if I didn't have the backups that I had, I would have not known what to say, and they would have pushed back even harder on all the changes that I were to make in the future. And at a certain point, you build yourself a reputation of positive change, and people stop asking you questions and they ask you for advice instead on how to fix what they're doing. And so it creates a positive feedback loop where people want to change. You're pushing the boundaries so often that it actually makes other people who were previously more complacent more able to change, right? They want to change because there's the movement, there's the momentum. That's the word that I'm thinking of, is momentum. There's much more momentum with it. If this doesn't kill, I'm gonna cry. I'm seriously gonna cry if this doesn't kill him. It didn't kill him, did it? Fuck! I'm dead. I'm greened. No way, I dodged it! Okay, we're doing it again. Cheese out, boys. Cheese out. I cannot believe I got so freaking lucky. One laugh wonder. So that necessarily wasn't the best story, but to me it's thematic because it was a turning point in my work. Because I finally was no longer just the person who was always bitching to change everything. I turned into the person who did change something, and it worked really well. And so ever since then, I've just been continuing to push my own limits and push what some people deem as acceptable, or what some people deem as what they're used to, or what they've been doing for 20, 30 years in some cases. And I truly think that if I did not change the stuff that I did, and if I did not continue to push, I do not think that it would be a company to this day. Whether or not everybody realizes that or not is another thing, but I know in my heart with it that it would be very close to not salvageable at its state if I was not there, which creates a lot of value within yourself, which is great. All right, here's my next Royco life advice, pro gamer tips. All right, next tip is focus. So this is an example of something that I deal with regularly. I deal with people who are not here, physically here, not existing in the now. And sometimes I struggle with that as well. And so what do you see when, or what do you feel when you look at these people? It feels like they're not there. It's not just to say that they seem like an NPC in a sense, right? The bigger thing, though, to me, is that they are not present in a mindset. So think of it like they're there, but they're constantly on their phone. Think about it that they are there, but they're constantly looking at reels on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or something. Think of it like that. So they are physically there, but they are not mentally, emotionally connected to the world of now. And so what becomes a problem, right, is when you run into this party thing so many fucking times you're gonna blow your brains out. But the real problem is with this, right, is when you are never truly existing in this world, did you ever even live a real life? And so what I would want to say with that, and what I also have been working on myself with, is try to, especially in work and everything, try to eliminate distractions. How do you do that, right? Part of it is questioning yourself when you are, or you think you are, in that, and trying to be honest with yourself. So if you've noticed, hey, I've been watching YouTube videos for the past 6 fucking hours today, well, shit, maybe you should go outside and touch some grass. And I don't even mean that in a mean way, right? Doing that, going outside, just sitting, even just walking in nature, is something that can be very beneficial to your health. And it's a balance that we all need, and people that play video games definitely can struggle with that balance from time to time. Hell, you could be focusing too much on video games in a sense. I've done that. So it's trying to alter this scale, trying to get everything in its proper balance to make it so that you're not miserable. And really, so you can feel like you're present. How often do you think about the past? How often do you think about the future? So for some people that I talk to, right, all they can think about is the past. They're living in this romanticized view of what the past was, saying, oh, well, this was those times, man, those times were the good old days. And I love hearing that from people because you know that it's so unbelievably one-sided in their viewpoint. It's just like me when I think of playing Combat Arms in 2008. The reality is, when I was playing Combat Arms and Toontown and all these other games in 2008 in their quote-unquote peak, I was fucking miserable. You want to know what I was doing in 2008, man? Do you want to know what I was doing in 2008? So, when I was in 2008, I was doing or playing hooky 24/7 in like 7th grade to play Toontown, Pirates Online, Combat Arms, and other games. And I did it literally so often that I had the truancy police come by, and they said, hey, if you don't start going to school, we're going to bring a squad car to your house every day to take you to school. And I was like, well, shit, man. Or obviously, if it got worse than that, then parents could be liable too. And so I was like, well, I guess I gotta go to school then. So I was miserable, I was depressed, I was in a terrible state of mind. I felt like I had no purpose, and technically, to be true, I did really have no purpose at the time. School is a fucking joke to me, it always has been. And there was nothing that I was doing that felt like I was contributing to the world around me at whole, right? And so that killed me. It felt like an empty... It was this empty, hollow feeling, and that's something where if you guys are in a similar situation where you feel like school is fucking worthless, try to just find a job that gives you that sense of purpose, that gives you that sense of plugging yourself into the world and really making the world a better place overall. Take some time to really find out what that job is. Don't overthink it like crazy. You can always switch jobs later. I think the most important thing is to just get a job doing something and stay busy. But second most important thing is to try and find something that you find valuable. What you're doing adds value to the world, and you feel happy to go to work and do that, even if it's hard, grueling work. How did this guy get Spicy Nacho Dorito as his name? Hashtag copyright strike, man. 33 laughing, he's got the top sound. Dude's an actual crackhead. So to go back to what I was saying earlier about overall distractions and overall people starting to look into the future and the past, right? You got the people who are looking in the past saying that everything was in a nice tint looking back in the past. There's also the people who look into the future way too much, which is something that I struggle with. And that's where you imagine all of this stuff that you can accomplish, and you're so focused on creating this reality out of what you've got concocted into your head that real life, current time, does not seem favorable to live in. And so you kind of get yourself, and parts of it can be good, part of those can be good, the elements can be decent. Saying that you want to create something that's better in the world drives you to be able to create that and make it a reality. But like I said, it's a balance where you don't want to be stuck, right? You don't want to be stuck looking so far into the future, and also to think of, like, this path to the future is not going to be straight. You're going to have lots of trials and issues along the way. So to think that you can just keep looking to the future... Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna have to fucking run. Yeah, I definitely have to run. I'm toast, dude. So people like me who look into the future too much need to take a step back and literally smell the roses. Just take deep breaths in and realize that the life you're living now is good, and you should appreciate it, and in some sense you should even celebrate it as well, because you're continuing to push to create that better future. Whereas people in the past, in my opinion, they need to look more to the future, and especially look more into the present. Because if they do not look into the future and they just continually look into the past, then they peaked at fucking high school. And it's not to be mean saying that, but if you only look to the past, then you will only be...
I think your mic's muted, by the way.
Oh.
Straight up kidding.
Yo, Brian, this is crazy, man. So I'm recording a video for Toontown Rewritten. Do you want to join me in this commentary?
Yeah, I didn't know, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't even...
No, you're good, dude. I didn't even realize I was still in the in this chat, like in this chill chat on my Discord at discord.gg/Rico64. Oh shit, dude, plug. Cringe,
Dude,
right?
I literally walked into an advertisement, bro.
I know, yeah.
Oh, man. What are you working on?
What I was talking about, right? Well, I'm doing tasks, but what I was talking about, I'm in Donald's dock.
Donald's dick.
Yeah, Donald's dick, exactly. This guy gets it. He's cultured.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Been around since the old... Actually, me and Ben go back.
Been around that Donald's dick.
Yeah, been around his dick a few times. It's pretty good.
You ever been to that Dreamland dick, though? That Dreamland dick, though, is fire.
That's the best, dude. It's so good it puts you to sleep, dude.
Dude, isn't that the truth? They gotta put that underneath the sign or something, man.
Kid's gonna get age restricted.
It's fine, man. It's fine.
Yeah, you good, dude.
So this is what I was talking about, right? This is like, I've got a bunch of topics jumbled up in my fucking noggin, but the one that I was thinking of, right, and I think it's important, is this fucking thing missed. The important thing is, there are people that look into the past like crazy, and there are people who look into the future like crazy, but we all collectively need to focus more on the present. Exactly.
I wholeheartedly agree with you.
So for me, and I don't know what your tendency is, for me, my lean is always on the future. I'm so focused on creating something that doesn't exist that I make my current life miserable because I push myself like crazy to try and create this dream into a reality, if that makes sense.
I think I agree. I think I'm exactly the same. I tend to focus more on the future also because I also have, an anxiety disorder. So I'm always thinking about what's going to be happening next, in the future.
Yeah,
and
it's like a survival tactic then.
Yeah, I kind of have this fear of things I can't even control or things that I'm anxious about, and it creates more anxiety as a result. Not that I'm like have crippling anxiety.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm good on it, but there was something I read that was like, if you have anxiety, you're always thinking about things in the future, and if you have depression, you're always thinking about things in the past. And I always kind of thought that was an interesting perspective.
Dude, for me, so I've had like the depression type stuff, right? And for me, I don't think about anything because like the current time would be so bad, right? Or even you try, how do I describe it? I wouldn't even be thinking about the past because the past was also not good. I think that I would try not to think of the future though, because the future would also be depressing to me. Does that make sense? It's like the feeling of being depressed or depression, in my opinion, from my perspective of it, is I was situationally depressed because I had nothing to shoot for, in a sense, right? I felt that I had all this energy and all this like desire to change the world, but I had no medium to be able to do that. And so a lot of it was like YouTube and stuff like that. A lot of it was like in some cases like some form of art. But I realized that I can't do that shit as like the full-time thing. That cannot be my main thing. And so then I started switching it to just like work. And then stuff started to get more manageable and better because I can plug in all of this stuff. Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna have to run away. Fucking doppelgang my ass. Normally
real,
where people well, it's weird though, because normally people think of work as like this fucking soul-sucking thing, and it is some days, but to me it's been almost the exact opposite in like a total sense of like me as a person. And that's why I feel like people have got like work wrong in like the mentality sense, right? Like it is soul-sucking and it can be like cancerous and stuff for you, but at the same time though, if you find the right thing that makes you feel like you're really contributing to the world at large and you're doing like positive, then I feel it can have such a positive impact on you, like much more positive than a lot of other things.
I agree with that. I mean, I think everything's in perspective. It's about how you make it. Your present sets up as the foundation to your future. So if you're kind of living every day in misery, as you said, like working, that's just kind of how your future is going to be as well. It's going to be in that pattern of just misery and depression.
Like even the same, and what I would talk to, like when I would talk to some people, right? I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but it's just like people that you feel bad for, but then they do nothing to elevate themselves, right? So they're the down. I call them the down bad Andes because they're just like, man, I just can't catch a break, but they're not doing anything to be able to make it so they can catch a break in the first place. It's like they expect something to just fall onto their lap one day, but the problem is they're doing nothing to make that happen. And so you feel bad for them, and you try to lean them in the right direction. You're like, hey, I could get you a job. Hey, I could get you X. I could get you Y. I could get you Z. Yep. But at the same time, even if they get all of that, they still don't have the drive to be able to make it to the next step. And so, of course, every time then they got it in their head to where they're saying, like, well, you know, like the world's just out to get me essentially, or I've just got bad luck, or I'm never going to catch a break. And it's like, dude, like for real, like you got to just like get out of the house and start working your ass off or
That's
something, and you'll figure it out and you'll build up that confidence. And that's something with like men that I've realized a lot, where they're kind of just like beaten down a lot and they don't have anything to kind of pick that confidence back up. And I mean, a lot of it too is based on like fathers and stuff like that as well. So if you didn't have a dad that really pushed you, or if you didn't play like a lot of competitive sports or something like that, you're definitely on the, how to describe it, like you're definitely at a disadvantage, right? So that sucks. Right. But it's definitely like everybody could pick up on that. You're not just
That's a great point. That's a great point. I mean, I know someone exactly who actually complains just about that exact thing, not having enough money to do things, but doesn't make an effort to actually find, you know, a viable income and just expect something to work out for them, right? And, you know, as a result, they're always complaining about not having money to do things, and but doesn't make the effort to actually get that income, but just hopes that they get lucky in their situation and they can make income doing a certain thing.
Yeah, which is just in most cases it's never going to happen. It's like you're just straight up injecting copium into your veins. It's like nothing's going to happen in the overwhelming majority of these cases.
Well, here's what I will say. I don't think people should work themselves to death either. I think there should be a balance.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not balanced with that either. That's something that I need to work on. Yeah. Where I'd be working
I always talk
6 days, and then my Saturday would be a 12-hour, and it's like, dude, like, at a certain point, like, you have to take a step back. It's okay to push your total physical and mental limits, like, to see how much you can take, but you have to recoup and rest sometimes, too. And that's something that I always struggled with, is, like, giving myself a fucking break. So.
Mental health is key. I mean, because I mean, if it really does, it's the definition of what affects your job performance. If your mental health isn't good, your job performance isn't going to be good, and that can lead to error in situations that can be detrimental to your job as well. So. I always tell people you got to find a balance. Like if you don't have to necessarily find your dream job, because again, not everybody can achieve that. But you also don't have to go the opposite spectrum and have a job you absolutely miserably hate and you work too much for. You know, try to find that middle ground. Just a a job that you can be complacent with, but you make decent income and you don't have to work yourself to death. And that's kind of where I try to put myself in as well. If there's a job that's just miserable to me, I get out of it, but I try to work towards something that's reasonable, but also, again, I don't have to kill myself over
I agree with everything except for the complacency part. I think, like, for me, like, a big part of it is upward mobility. Like, when I think of going to a company or something like that, I want to know that I can shoot up like crazy, you know, like exponential growth. Yeah. So for me, the last thing is complacency. That's like, if I'm about to die, maybe I'll consider complacency. Like if I have fucking stage 4 ball sack cancer, then I'll consider complacency. But besides that, like, it's a no for me, dog. So, or no, besides that, it's a yes for me, dog. Yeah.
I shouldn't say job. I should say everyone should look for their career. You know, something that you are going to be doing for most of your life. I mean, if you're younger, I mean, and you're trying to figure things out, it's okay if you're working a job until you
50 different like things or complete ideas in your head of what you're going to be doing in your life, and all of them will be wrong. So it's important to just test the waters. Yeah, I mean, just to do something, not do nothing, right? But at the same time, try your hardest.
This might have became the most real Ben Royko video to ever upload. Usually it's about memes, dude, and this kid's just like, yeah, let's talk about life for a second.
Dude, I've enjoyed this though. It's like almost like a miniature journal for me with this, and like part of it too is like I wish that I had somebody talking to me about this kind of stuff when I was at a younger age. And so, like, I think about it, and I'm like, even if just one fucking person, like, gets that, and it, like, clicks, and then they figure it out, and then all of a sudden, like, it starts avalanching, like, for good, you know, not like a bad avalanche, but, like, imagine, like, a little snowball going down a mountain, and it starts off really small. It's just that thought. But then all of a sudden, the momentum of you getting that thought and you working on that just makes it into this giant fucking boulder. And it's a boulder of good. I mean, it's hard to imagine like an avalanche like that or a snowball going down a hill like being a good thing, but it's a good thing. So I used a bad analogy snowball for that, yeah. And then it kills everyone, but yeah.
And then everyone dies. Yeah. The end. Well, I have to say, like, that's exactly why, you know, because like we were talking about like finding what makes your life, you know, good for you, you know, which includes your career, which by the way, exclusive for the Ben Rico.
It's a large portion of your life when you really think about it, right? Like a lot of people's jobs, they're gonna be there 40 hours a week minimum. So that's a good chunk of every like week of your life, at least until you get to what age, like fucking like 60 or 70. I mean, with how the Federal Reserve's going, we're probably gonna be retired in our fucking 80s or about to die. So
sad reality. Yeah. Speaking of which, for the exclusive for the Ben Rico video, I'm back in the United States.
Hell yeah, dude. Good old What's the first food that you bought when you were in the States?
Dude, the very first thing?
The very first thing.
Well, I gotta think about that. I actually forgot. We had, it was Subway.
Subway? Okay, dude. Yeah, don't tell me you got the soda there. Or the drinks,
Nah.
Please. Did you at least learn something from me? Thank you.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say.
For everybody that knows, all right, and in case Subway tries to sponsor me at some point in my life when I become a multi-trillionaire, all right?
Yeah, especially Jared Fogle coming back.
Yeah, so first off, Jared Fogle, he's a pedophile. Second off, Subway water is ass cheeks. Literal ass cheeks. I'm telling you right now, never drink their fountain water. It is dysentery juice. Thank you. As dude, somebody who deals with that stuff, like water, like being clean and everything, dude, like just don't even try it, man. It's literally like one of the biggest footprint stores, you know, in terms of like fast food is what I would consider it. They have so many stores, and yet they cannot get clean water. What the fuck is up with that? It's not that hard, I'm telling you.
I'm drinking local Florida water right now, Zephyr Hills. I don't know if you've ever had that.
Do you know what local Florida water? Where is it?
Spring water. It's 100% natural spring water.
Oh, spring water. Okay, I thought you meant you literally just like got water from outside and started drinking it.
Yeah, dude, I literally
went to... psycho.
It's got mosquitoes in it too, you know, like. Florida's it's an interesting place. What was I gonna say? Yeah, dude, it's so weird drinking. I had one Mountain Dew. That was my rule. I was gonna drink one Mountain Dew when I came back. It was so weird drinking a Mountain Dew after almost a year.
Dude, does Mountain Dew have flame retardant in it, or am I crazy?
My sister said that too. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know if that's just a myth at this point or if they removed it, but I thought it was like some component that was in flame retardant.
Oh no, it was you who said that. Yeah, wait.
I think it was in. I could be dead wrong too, so. I definitely could be. I've been wrong plenty of times in my life.
There's flame retardant in your Mountain Dew. That soda with the lime green hue and other citrus flavor bubbly pops won't keep your insides fireproof, but it does contain brominated vegetable oil, a patented flame retardant for plastics that has been banned in food throughout Europe.
No way, man. No way. That's real. So nasty.
That's real.
I knew that, like, so the thing, the reason why I knew this was the case, right, is because if
Hold on a second, this data got removed recently.
Okay, good. I'm glad that they finally removed it, because the thing that I realized, right, is that it took the kick, or it took the sting off of alcohol way too good. This was back when I drank too much, and it masked it too well, and I'm like, what the hell do they have in this fucking concoction of a drink that makes it so that you can do that? No, that's Coca-Cola, baby.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Bring Coke back to Coke.
And everything.
Yeah, right.
It's I don't know, it's weird like trying I realize now why other countries ban some of our snacks and drinks here, because it's
the sugar overload is what the problem is. I mean, it's just so processed, and the amount of sugar too it's insane. So when you think of drugs, right? When you think of drugs and everything, the amount of damage it does to people is terrible, but sugar in a sense is its own drug, right? Like I would argue that sugar is a drug. And it's like so normalized. Like imagine how people say like drugs and alcohol, right? To try to disassociate drugs with alcohol, which alcohol is a drug. Like don't get it twisted. Like it's a drug. So imagine that, but it's like literally you just go to your fucking local 7-Eleven or whatever fucking convenience store you're going to, or literally anywhere. You go fucking anywhere. There's candy bars packed with fucking sugar. There's Skittles. There's all this shit that you can just fill your body with, get diabetes, get fat as shit. And like there's not really a good push to say like, well, hey, why the fuck am I eating this much sugar? What is the daily value of sugar that I should be eating every day? And of course, a lot of it falls on the consumer. I'm not saying that you should be like a complete fucking victim in the situation, like stop eating so much fucking sugar. It feels like that they make so much money off of sugar that they're just trying to push it and shove it down people's throats and get it to where they get so addicted to this, like these sugar highs and everything. It's just it's pretty sad, really, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like the Voltage Mountain Dew, for example, I had literally 5 grams of sugar.
I think part of it is you just need to see how much that is, right? Like people need to see how much sugar is in that. Like just a side-by-side comparison of like a cup of sugar and how much is in that glass. If people saw that and like if they visualize that every time they drank that, I don't think that they would be drinking it as much. But also, I don't know everybody either, so it's just I think I know a bubble of the population, I guess.
Right. Don't know, man. It's all bad, horrible for you, anyways. The stuff that it should not be in your body.
The best thing you can do is just drink very highly purified water. For drinks and stuff, by far the best thing you can do. Get some reverse osmosis filtered water. Oh my god, dude, it slaps, I'm telling you.
Do you agree with that? Get the good. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy though that like coming back to the States has been kind of a trip for me though. I mean, because like after almost a year of living in Peru, it's really strange to be back here.
That nobody's asking you for cocaine?
No one asked me for cocaine now, man.
It's you know what's crazy though? Everybody asks how I am, but they don't ask where's the cocaine or if I need cocaine.
Dude, they did a secondary inspection before we even got on the plane, which, you know, by the way, I guess TSA wasn't enough. They did a secondary inspection. I guess the Department of Homeland Security is requiring it now.
Yeah.
And not only that, but once we got to the Fort Lauderdale airport, at the carousel where the bags are coming down, they had a drug sniffing dog sniff every single bag that came down, man. They don't play around, man, because Peru is notorious for a lot of cocaine. Even in front of the police at the parks, these guys would come up and ask me if I want to buy cocaine. So,
well, they're probably bought out though too. So,
if you guys want cocaine, go to Peru, I guess. So, encouraging drugs on Ben's channel since today. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's cool to be back in the States though too, and you know we can actually be on a good, stable connection, so I can actually, you know, talk to you guys and not have like internet issues or latency issues. And hopefully I'll be getting a setup to this later this year. By the way, because we were talking about careers, so for people on the Ben Royko channel that probably don't give a shit, but you know, I'm joining the military, so I'm going to start my career. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I actually tried to go to the recruiting office today, and they're fucking closed this week, so I have to wait till Monday next week. I'm so pissed off about that. But it's all good. At least I can get myself settled in. And it's like I'll never escape the heat because it's like almost the end of summer there in Peru, and now it's almost April here in the States, so we're actually about to go into summer. So it's like I can't escape the fucking heat, man. But I think there you said it's like cold still.
Yeah, it's cold here. It definitely is, yeah. And it's like really volatile, where it's like it gets really cold and then some days it'll just get really warm too. And then like every time it does that massive change, it's like your sinus, or at least for me, my sinuses just fucking act up. It's terrible. So it stinks.
All that fun stuff.
So you're going to TwitchCon this year, right, in Vegas?
Bro, I really want to. I hope I can. I have to make sure my training doesn't interfere with it. But I'm gonna make a very strong effort to go this year. So that's the goal. And Vegas too, man. I think I talked to Ben about this the other day too. But I think like anyone who's watching who's been to TwitchCon before, everyone knows that every single Twitch event, a TwitchCon event, has been in California, and I think I always kind of made the joke. I was like, maybe one day it'll come to my city. At the time when I lived in Vegas, obviously I don't anymore, but for it to actually come to Vegas is insane, right? But it makes sense. It makes sense for it to come to Vegas too. It seems like such a good location for it to be, right? And not everybody can make it to California.
I feel like the taxes will be better too. So, like for the actual people organizing the event.
I'm pretty sure Nevada does not have state tax or something like that. Yeah, I think it's state tax. Nevada doesn't have it.
They might not have a lot of taxes just because the casinos make them so much money that they don't even have to worry about it. And
it's one reason they don't even have a lottery system. It's because the casino industry exists. So it was kind of a good thing because I am kind of addicted to lottery more than I was slot machines actually. Like the slot machines thing wasn't even a big deal. But I don't know. Scratch off tickets are an addiction. I will say that. I don't really buy them that much now, but I did yesterday just because I'm like, I'm back in the States. So
the best thing you can do with that kind of stuff is get a running total.
Yeah.
Because I've had my problems with all that stuff, but if you start to really calculate the total in your head of the amount of fun things and cool things you could have done, experienced, or gotten with all of that that you've injected into something that's given you nothing, then you'll start to like realize like, hey, if I just put some of this money away instead of doing that, then I'll be good.
I agree with that.
And the first rule of Gambo is to never chase your losses. And have
that was
finite
the biggest
set.
thing. 100%. All right, everybody. I got my SteelSeries sponsored mouse pad on my desk.
Sponsored. That's a hard cap.
Would you want to be sponsored by SteelSeries?
Nah, I really like Game DS, dude. If I would be sponsored again, I wish that they would make peripherals again. That's like dead serious too. They started to stinge out a little bit towards the end. I feel like that's why they went under, but they used to make really, really, really good shit.
They went down under? Oh, they went to Australia? I didn't know that.
No, they're really just producing like cases now. It seems like computer cases, like RGB fans, and trying to think of what else.
I was
Power
making
supplies.
a joke, by the way.
I know. I'm just taking it literally.
Oh, okay.
All I can think of when you say that too is UCD. He would always say that in his intros.
What? Land down under.
All the way from down under.
Dude, there's this one meme that Ben and me and Ryan, we all used to make. Well, Ryan, but we all used to say like whenever one of us is like, yeah, honestly, man, and we're like, yeah, thanks for being honest. We just reply.
You know what that stems from? You want to know the truth of what that stems from?
Where did that come from?
Like the dead ass truth.
I'm curious,
Not
actually,
the fake
because I don't know
truth.
where the hell is.
Seriously?
Not the fake ass.
I never told you?
True ass. No, I actually don't know.
Okay.
Someone never told me.
So I think it is truly thematic. I think it is, and it has real meaning to why I meme it too.
Yeah.
So within, especially work and everything, right? You deal with a lot of people who lie. And so a tendency that I've realized, and then also it was realized within like a lot of the like senior leadership there, and one in particular, right, was that people who would say to be honest in front of everything were liars, like more often than not. Because why would you have to phrase something with to be honest before you said something honest? Why wouldn't you just tell the fucking truth all the time? Or at least the overwhelming majority of the time. I'm not trying to say that people have to be fucking saints.
Right, yeah.
But like, why wouldn't you? Like, what's the benefit of, like, are you saying then if you don't say to be honest, then you're lying? It's just like a terrible situation you put yourself into because you kind of dug your own grave metaphorically to say like, well, to be honest, like, or it's just crazy to me, like that thought process. And so I make fun of it because it cracks me up. It cracks me up when people say it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Because when people say it all the time, there's a bigger issue going on, or they need better words to use. But yeah, it hit me deep one time when I said it, not even thinking about it, and then like they just respond to me and they're just like, it's just essentially like, well, are you not being honest in other times? Like, why do you have to say it like that? Why can't you just be honest? And then I really thought about it for a second. My brain kind of snapped there for a second. And I'm like, well, shit, they're right. Why wouldn't I just tell the truth? Why would I have to preface anything with "to be honest" if I'm just fucking honest?
Yeah, just be like George Washington, guys. Always be honest. He can't tell a lie.
Wasn't it Honest Abe? Isn't that what you're talking about? George Washington. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, wasn't it George Washington who couldn't tell a lie? Wait, hold on.
Dude, that's bullshit. Anybody says that they don't tell a lie, it's bullshit. But you should get the ratio
That's
to
true.
be very high, though. I agree with that. You should get the
I would've
ratio
told-
as high as you possibly
Like
can.
that cow.
Yeah.
Did George Washington? Because George Washington said he couldn't tell a lie.
Well, think about the Honest Abe, though. People literally nicknamed it Honest Abe. Like Abraham Lincoln.
There we go, dude. In June 1780, General George Washington told a lie. In fact, he planned a major deception. But as it was intended to deceive the British High Command during the Revolutionary
Yeah, no
War,
shit.
most Americans would likely forgive him.
Yeah, no shit,
Yeah,
man.
to be fair, George Washington did help us, I guess.
I guess.
He was a
just
general,
a founding
man.
father.
So, I salute to General George Washington. I also salute to Colonel Sanders because he did give us some damn good chicken.
Oh my god, dude. Fucking cringe.
Brian. What if
It's like, it was
what if
serious
I
and
just
then
make
all
a
of a
video
sudden,
saluting
dude, all of a sudden just fucking turned.
to Colonel Sanders?
Alright,
But you know
well,
what? Colonel Sanders kind of took an L. He didn't
What-
become
what
a
did he do?
general. He didn't become a
yeah,
general.
Not,
so-
not General KFC.
Not general. Actually, that doesn't have a good ring to
General
it, though.
FC.
General Sanders.
It's not terrible.
I swear you just said General Epstein. I'm not even gonna
No,
watch
I
it.
didn't.
You dude.
But he didn't kill himself. Alright, either way, I gotta stop this recording. It's been too long. Thanks, guys, for watching.
What
I'll
a
see you in the next
shit
one.
show.
Join the Discord at discord.gg/Rico64, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
That's where I'm
Peace the
at.
fuck out. See ya.